everyone. I have a feeling that if the women of India take to shine, they will achieve even what men have failed to do. Women have one quality, that is devotion. It is one of the most important passports to success in life as well as in science. Let us not imagine that intellect is a sole prerogative of males in science. This quote of C.V. Raman has only proved that we women can achieve much more and attain a lot than we usually think.
Cool.
Then, what is hidden? What is the hidden power in all of us waiting for? Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable guests, respected principal ma'am, teachers, and my dear friends. Myself, Ipsila Priyadashini Sahu, a student of MMT BHU, will be your host of the day. Before starting any good thing, we take blessings of our elders. So today's program is also the same. शुभारंभ करने से पहले हम हमारे आदरणीय महामना को डिजिटल माल्यार्पण करके उनका आशीर्वाद ग्रहण करेंगे।
वो मेल कर दिया उनका अब ये डिजिटल
में कोई भी कार्यक्रम शुरू करने से पहले कुलगीत गाया करते हैं। मतलब कुलगीत के बिना कोई भी कार्यक्रम शुरू नहीं होता। तो अभी मैं बीएचयू की एक छात्रा कशिश दी को बुलाना चाहूंगी। वो अपने मधुर सुर में कुलगीत गाकर हम सबको विमोहित करे।
मधुर मनोहर अतीव सुंदर यह सर्ववेद्या की राजधानी राजधानी मधुर मनोहर अतीव सुंदर यह सर्ववेद्या की राजधानी राजधानी यह तीनों लोकों से न्यारी काशी सुज्ञान धर्म और सत्य राशि बसी है गंगा के रम्य तट पर यह सर्ववेद्या की राजधानी राजधानी नए नहीं है ये ईंट पत्थर है विश्वकर्मा का कार्य सुंदर रचे है विद्या के भव्य मंदिर यह सर्वश्रेष्ठी की राजधानी राजधानी मधुर मनोहर अतीव सुंदर यह सर्ववेद्या की राजधानी राजधानी यहाँ की है यह पवित्र शिक्षा की सत्य पहले फिर आत्मरक्षा बिके हरिश्चंद्र थे यहीं पर यह सत्य शिक्षा की राजधानी राजधानी वह वेद ईश्वर की सत्यवाणी बने जिन्हें पढ़ के ब्रह्म ज्ञानी थे व्यास जी ने रचे यहीं पर यह ब्रह्म विद्या की राजधानी, राजधानी मधुर मनोहर अतीव सुंदर यह सर्व विद्या की राजधानी, राजधानी वह मुक्ति पद को दिलाने वाले, सुधर्म पथ पर चलाने वाले, यही फले फूले बुद्ध शंकर यह राज ऋषियों की राजधानी, राजधानी सुरम्य धाराएं वरुणा 80 नहाए जिनमें कबीर तुलसी, भला हो कविता का क्यों न आकर यह वाग विद्या की राजधानी, राजधानी मधुर मनोहर अतीव सुंदर यह सर्व विद्या की राजधानी, राजधानी विविध विविध कला अर्थ शास्त्र गायन, गणित खनिज औषधि रसायन, प्रतीचि प्राची का मेल सुंदर यह विश्वविद्या की राजधानी, राजधानी मालवीय जी की देशभक्ति या उनका साहस या उनकी शक्ति, या मालवीय जी की देशभक्ति या उनका साहस या उनकी शक्ति, प्रकट हुई है नवीन होकर यह कर्म वीरों की राजधानी, राजधानी मधुर मनोहर अतीव सुंदर यह सर्व विद्या की राजधानी, राजधानी।
Thank you so much, Dean. Your voice was really melodious and soothing. Now, wasting no more time, I would like to call in stage our respected Neelam Ma'am, Professor, Physics Department, MMD BHU, to welcome all of us. Please, ma'am.
Esteemed speaker of the evening, Professor Madhoolika Agarwal Madam, respected Principal Madam, Professor Inu Mehta, Dr. Reena Sharma, Dr. Ritu Srivastava, and all the guests, dear colleagues and dear students, a very warm welcome to this evening to all of you. I am thankful to the IWSA for the IWSA Delhi branch for selecting our institution for organizing this popular science lecture series. I am thankful to Dr. Reena Sharma, IWSA chairperson Delhi branch, and Dr. Ritu Srivastava, IWSA treasurer Delhi branch. Thank you very much for this, your selecting our institution for this. My special emphasis, it is important to let you know that my special emphasis has been to connect to the students with such programs, for which I give the organizing responsibility to my students, so that they can feel connected, more connected. So today's program will be fully organized by the students who are the BSc first year students of our institution. And the speaker of the evening, Professor Madhoolika Agarwal Madam, is fellow of all the 4 national academies, and she is always ready to do whatever is possible, whatever it is possible for doing the school students or for our university students. And I am really thankful to you, madam, that you were so much busy throughout this month But when I requested you that please give some talk before 20th March, you said, "Acha, okay, I will find out some time," and you have given us this time. I'm really very much thankful to you, ma'am. And I personally admire your efforts for the science popularization, which you are doing through your as a fellow of the different national academies, and putting so much efforts to popularize it in the reach the students who are deprived of these all these things. You are going to villages for means daily, many times you travel hours to reach to the students, and so that you uh, can make them motivated to opt for the science. And really, I'm really very much feel honored whenever I get a chance to go with you to such programs. I really feel so much. I don't have words to explain that how much happy, how much satisfaction I get whenever I get a chance to work with you, madam. I am happy to inform you that other than our institution, students from different institutions have also registered for this today's program, and nearly 145, more than 145, not nearly, more than 145 registrations we have received for today's program. So I'm really, once again, I welcome you all to this program, and I am thankful to all of you, to IWSA Delhi branch, to Professor Madhoolika Agarwal madam, and to our principal madam for supporting for such type to conduct such type of the program. I'm not going to take any single second further, because all the students, everybody is ready to listen Professor Madhoolika Agarwal. So I request IPSA to proceed further.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next on stage, we'll have our revered Dr. Inu Mehta, ma'am, Principal NMD BHU, to say a few words on this occasion. Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much. A very good evening to all of you. Paying homage to Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji, the visionary founder of Banaras Hindu University, I am honored to welcome Professor Madhoolika Agarwal, Professor of Botany, Institute of Science, Institute of Science, BHU. Professor Reena Sharma, the Chairperson, Indian Women Scientists Association, Delhi branch, and Dr. Ritu Srivastav, Treasurer of IWSA, Delhi branch, and Professor Neelam Srivastav, Coordinator, Department of Physics, MMV, BHU. I also welcome all the faculty members and participants to this popular science webinar on role of women in biodiversity conservation. Women's particular roles and responsibilities within the household, community, and society lead women to develop unique knowledge related to biodiversity, shaped by their specific needs and priorities. As we all know, biodiversity loss poses a disproportionate burden for women and girls by increasing the time required to obtain necessary resources like water, fuel wood, and medicinal plant, which reduces the time they can spend on income generating activities and education. Hence, it becomes imperative that measures should be taken to increase the representation of women in decision making roles related to biodiversity and environmental concerns, environmental rather governance at all levels. I am glad that Professor Madhoolika Agarwal has accepted to deliver a lecture on such an important topic. Professor Agarwal is an eminent scientist of our institution who has been honored by different science academies of India to have her as Academies Fellow. It has always been a pleasure to listen to her. We strongly believe that listening and interacting with eminent scientists motivate our students to excel in their life. Professor Neelam Srivastav is especially working in this direction since 2014 and in our regular timetable for science students, Saturday 4 to 5 p.m. is marked for such lectures. I thank and appreciate Professor Srivastav that she has decided to organize this important lecture because conservation of biodiversity is essential for future survival of human species itself. I will not take much time as the students will be eager to listen to Professor Madhulika Agarwal. Once again, I am thankful to Dr. Reena Sharma, Dr. Ritu Srivastav, Professor Madhulika Agarwal, Professor Neelam Srivastav, all the students and all other faculty members for today's program. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your words meant a lot to us. Earlier, we had asked a question that what is our hidden power waiting for? I think it is waiting for some support. Now, next on stage, after hearing Dr. Reena Sharma ma'am, chairperson, IFSA Delhi branch, we will get to know our answer also. She will be speaking more details about IFSA, that is Indian Women Scientists Association. Please, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are muted. Ma'am, you are muted. Dr. Sharma, you are muted. Ah.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. I was trying to share my screen. I will again try that, just see if it is becoming visible to you. Is it visible now?
No,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Is it visible? I'm not able to see. Is it visible? Okay.
Is it visible?
No, ma'am.
No, no, Dr. Reena.
To nobody it is visible? The
No.
PPT? Okay. In case it's not becoming visible, then what to do? Then I will just speak to you if my screen is not becoming visible. So Professor Madhulika Agarwal becomes for today the personality whom I would like to welcome. But before that, let me address everybody and start formally. So Professor Madhulika Agarwal, Professor Inu Mehta and Professor Srivastava, we are really delighted to be associated with BHU and you all to organize this BRNS lecture. Delhi branch has recently started doing BRNS lecture, so our headquarters was doing for long. And when Ritu Srivastava talked to me about the choice of a speaker, it became like our dream come true because Professor Madhulika Agarwal, we have two kind of activities. One is societal activity, social welfare, and one is our science awareness wing. And with you as a choice of a speaker, we are fulfilling both the mandates. The topic that you bring in also fulfill both the mandates. So it's our pleasure to have an eminent personality, yet so unassuming like you, to be our speaker for the day. And this being the International Women's Day fall in this month, we really wanted to have various inspiring women who can act as a role model to our young girls to be the part of our this thing, BRNS lecture series. So thank you very much, and thank you Professor Inu, and thank you Professor Neelam for giving us this opportunity to be associated with you. We are indebted to you, and with this I would be talking about Indian Women Scientists Association. I don't know what is the
Hello.
problem. I am unable to share my screen, yet I will just speak about the association in brief, what we do. So our Indian Women Scientists Association had its headquarters in Bombay. Okay, so it was registered as under the Society Act and in 1973 as a result of few women getting together and thinking that science should be used for the welfare of the women. So that is how this whole thing was perceived, and slowly and gradually things were on the right track, and various branches came in. And today we have lots of branches. We have branches in Roorkee, Hyderabad, Pune, Nagpur, Kolhapur, Kalpakkam, Baroda, Amravati, Bangalore, Nellore, etc. And our branch, which is Delhi branch, this was established in 1987. So in all, there are 11 branches and headquarters. So thus, in all, we have 2,300 IFSA members, which, seeing the scientific community which women is, then it seems to be a very meager number. We want that more and more women should come on board, and we are not a organization which is sort of putting a divide in the society. We think that man and woman both have to work for the balance in the society. We have to take care of the society. So our lectures are open to both men and women. Both it is open. All our training programs are also open to both. We also take up causes which are of a special concern to women from time to time. So we have two kinds of activities: community welfare and science awareness, as I said. Okay, in 1920, IFSA has reached to 23,000 participants by various lectures. And community welfare activities at headquarters in Bombay, they have established a working women's hostel, daycare center, healthcare center. So these are the things that help women who are working. So these are social community welfare center. Similarly, computer center for underprivileged children, etc. And also, since early childhood care brings up the most out of the child, so headquarter has started a one-year diploma in early childhood care and education, and also from time to time various scholarship awards, etc. are taken. And as I said, in science awareness, we organize workshop for school students, college students, etc. At headquarter, we have a lab. Otherwise, we associate with certain organization and then do it as we do it in Delhi. And in Delhi, we have been organizing various series, but BRNS supported popular science lecture we have started recently, but our headquarters had total outreach in 1 year more than 3,800 to be precise, and 31 lectures they organized, for example, in 1920. And this project has been running for long, under which the science popularization becomes the motto. Popular science lectures from eminent personalities like we have today with us, Madhoolika, and talking about general topics like today's topic, we have biodiversity conservation. So this is to raise awareness and also to propose various role models to the girls who are coming up. When they look up to someone who has achieved so much and has done so much of good work, they are inspired to take up science. So this has two kind of things, like raising awareness about a topic and also putting up a woman as role model for coming up new generation. Our Delhi branch is no less. They are also doing activities like waste to wealth, like stress management among women, because we have dual kind of duty, or cancer detection drives we are early cancer detection drives we are doing. So various activities we are doing. And today I would also like to, in last lecture which we held on 8th March, I had announced that one of our colleagues from IWSA Delhi branch, member of IWSA Delhi branch, Agni Hotri, has been rated as 2%, one of the top 2% Indian scientists in the world in the field of energy by Stanford University. So similarly, today I would like to share with you that another member, Dr. Ruchika, has been again rated among top 2% scientists by Stanford University, USA, in the field of artificial intelligence and image processing. She is also recipient of Commendable Research Award by Delhi Technology University. She is a head and professor in the discipline of Software Engineering, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Delhi Technology University. I would also urge my other members who are listening that if they share their achievements with us, it may be inspiring to others. So with this, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about IWSA. Please let us work together to bring about a change. And people like you three Professor Madhoolika, Professor Ainu, and Professor Neelam will be the inspiring source of inspiration for many girls. And let us spread this message that science is something doing worthwhile, and we should network ourselves to value creation and promoting innovation. With this, I would urge you all to become members of IFSA Delhi branch. Let us broaden our base for work, and let us do good work. Thank you all. Thank you for your attention. And I will not stand anymore in between the eminent speaker and the audience. Kindly take over from here. Thank you so much.
A lot of thanks to ma'am. I think we all will be aware of our hidden talents inside us and the potential we have got and will definitely achieve some great height one day. Jumping ahead, we will have on screen Professor Nishi ma'am, Botany Department MLDBSU, to introduce the speaker of the event to our audience. Please ma'am.
Thank you, Ipsita. Honorable Speaker, respected principal, organizers, eminent scientists, and students, very good evening. I would like to introduce today's speaker, an eminent scientist and a wonderful teacher, Professor Madhoolika Agarwal. Madam has been listed as one of top scientists by Stanford University, USA. She has worked as head Department of Botany from 2015 to 2018. At present, she is coordinator of Interdisciplinary School of Life Sciences, BHU. She got various administrative posts such as coordinator of environmental science, vice chairperson of school board, coordinator of CS Botany. She has been appointed as environmental consultant of World Bank for National Highway 2 project from 1997 to 1999. She has received more than 14 prestigious awards, and some of them are Fellow of Indian National Science Academy Awards by INSA, Fellow of National Academy of Sciences Award by NASI, Fellow of National Agriculture Academy of Sciences Award by NAS, Fellow of Indian Botanical Society Award by Indian Botanical Society. She has completed about 17 research projects. She is an active member of various national and international committees. She has more than 300 publications. Her contribution is significant in the field of waste management, pollution, global climatic change, effect of ozone, ultraviolet rays on vegetation, biodiversity changes. She has done wonderful work on heavy metal toxicity entered through food chain and different measures to reduce such contaminants. I'm highly pleased to enjoy the lecture, today's lecture on very good topic, role of women in biodiversity conservation. Madam, I welcome you for the lecture.
So, should I start?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay. So while I will present my slides, Professor Inu Mehta, Principal of Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Dr. Reena Sharma, Dr. Ritu Shrivastava, Indian Women Scientists Association, Professor Neelam Shrivastava, Professor Nishi Kumari, and many others who have joined this, and my dear friends, students. It's indeed a great pleasure to be with you all in this afternoon to speak something which is related to a woman and which is also related to biodiversity. So both are very close to me. I'm a woman and I have studied ecology. At that point of time, the biodiversity was no more known to that extent. But in due course of time, the biodiversity took over as a very important challenge. Can you see these slides? Can you all see the slides?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay,
Yes.
so do I need to do it full screen or
Yeah,
it's visible?
ma'am, it would be better if you can do full screen, otherwise it is visible.
Okay, so I will take a little more time
Yes, sure, ma'am.
to make it full screen. So is it okay?
Fine, ma'am,
Yes,
fine,
ma'am.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, let us see if it will move fine, because sometimes when it is full screen, it does not move that fast. You all know that always there are various things which are being taken over by women. When I joined this department as an MSc student, I have heard very good lectures from the people who are specialized in ecology. One of them I would like to name, Professor Ramdev Mishra, who is also known to be the father of ecology in India. That another teacher which I want to take name is Professor K.P. Singh. He taught me in MSc, and I was so fascinated by this ecology branch that I thought I will do something in ecology. And then came my own supervisor with whom I did my PhD. He was reader at that point of time. So then I got fascinated with air pollution. So there is a very important role of these males in my life also to decide my specialization. Now coming to the role of women in biodiversity. So is it visible, the second slide?
Yes, ma'am, it moved pretty fast.
Okay, very good. So, you know, there are diversity of students here, maybe not only from botany, but others. So I will let you know that what is biodiversity actually. It is the numbers, varieties, and variabilities in the living organisms and the ecosystems. You know, different types of animal, plants are there. So their numbers and their varieties and how they are variable. These all are very important things. In fact, biodiversity includes terrestrial, marine, and all other aquatic organisms like of ponds, of lakes, or rivers. It's not a very simple thing which I have just defined in terms of numbers, varieties, and variability. It's a complex thing because it covers the diversity within a species. You know that human beings are Homo sapiens. So what are the variability among them ourselves? You know, we all are not exactly the same. So our variabilities, then between Homo sapiens and other species, and not only that, it is also the variability among the ecosystems. You know, you must have heard about near the equator, the tropical systems are there, while near the pole, polar system, ecosystems are there. So those variations are also covered under this. So at the highest level, the ecosystem diversity is there. Then in the middle, the diversity among species are there. And most importantly, you know, there is a genetic variability. You know that you all are hearing these days that coronavirus is mutating very fast. And then it is changing the variations are such that the mutants are more problematic in terms of the mortality as well as in terms of morbidity. So that genetic variability is also part of biodiversity. And how these biodiversities are very important for the human being and women, both. These biological resources are source of economic prosperity, hence become a mean of production. You all will agree with me that during this pandemic time, it's the biological resources in terms of various crop plants, various vegetables, various fruit, how much these biological resources have helped us to sustain ourselves so that, you know, we are at least healthy, we are developing immunity, or we are able to sustain our life. All other things, you know, moving here and there or getting something this or shopping and all that, they all became negligible in this. So how much these biological resources are important, you can think of. So various communities, male and female, they make their livings by this biological resources. So these biological resources need to be sustained for very long time. And that is why there is a need for their conservation and sustainable use so that these are available for pretty long time so that we can survive well. Now it has stuck. It's not, it has stuck. So I will go back to, okay. So what are different threats to biodiversity? The most important is the human population and consumption. These are the human activities: agriculture, fishery, industry, urbanization, and sprawl means, you know, unregulated increase in the urban development as well as international trade. Now these activities lead to habitat loss and degradation, pollution, habitat fragmentation. You know, if there is a big forest and some portion of that big forest is cut down, so it becomes fragmented. There is over exploitation, and also, you know, because of the international trade, there are introduction of certain invasive species. You all must be knowing about the Parthenium. You must have heard about that. That Parthenium has come up in the country when, you know, we had not that much crop production and we used to import the wheat from other countries. So through that, this invasive species has come up in the country, and now it is naturalized actually, and it is present right from the Himalayas to Kerala and then from Rajasthan to West Bengal. So these all together, these activities lead to climate change also, and then climate change leads to loss of biological diversity. Introduction of invasive species leads to loss of biodiversity, and similarly these factors also lead to biodiversity loss. What they do, what is actually this biodiversity loss? This is extinction of species and populations. Means that species which may be very important in the ecosystem, they may be lost from that place. Degradation of ecosystems. You know, if a forest is cut, entire forest ecosystem is degraded. Erosion of genetic diversity and evolutionary potential. You know, when there is a slow stress, there is a more genetic diversity, because evolutionary processes used to take place slowly and slowly. Something cannot evolve very fast. So there is erosion of genetic diversity and loss of evolutionary potential of that species. Loss of ecosystem services. You know, if the river Ganges water is dammed somewhere in Tehri Dam or something, and water is not coming up to Varanasi or beyond the Varanasi, its ecosystem services or the services it provides during its flow will be reduced. So that is what is happening for the ecosystems. Erosion of support system for human societies. So there are a lot of threats to the biodiversity, And now I'm coming to the what is the gender role in biodiversity conservation broadly. Actually, man and woman, they have different kind of responsibility in the community, in the home, or everywhere. Even if you will see that the males are more involved in decision making processes. Females are less involved in the decision making process. If you take the example of India, the female are 48% and male are 52%. But when you see the literacy rate is 60% for women and 80% for male. If you take different sectors like service sectors and others, you will find there is almost 70% male and less than 30% female. I'm talking about today's condition. If you go see the non-organized sectors like labors and others, female are a lot, but still there are a lot of discrepancies for their wages. They get less wages. We in the science are very, very privileged persons. There is no discrimination in our service conditions as compared to any male. But there are other sectors where this kind of discriminations are there. So according to the needs of men and women, the resources are also differently used and they are also differently managed. Those examples I will give slowly and slowly when my talk will proceed. So there are 4 key characteristics. One, women and men have knowledge about different things. In the ecosystem, we try to get the knowledge for that for which we are more fascinated or for which is more useful to us. So for women, something else is more useful as compared to men. Man thinks about those commodities which have a sellable value, while women used to think about those commodities which will be useful for the family or to feed the children or the family members. Men and women have different knowledge about the same thing. If there is a plant, wheat, the wheat grains will be harvested and the wheat grain will be sold to get the money. But how these wheat straw can be useful for making the fuel, or what other things can be done with this, like it can be given to the animals or others. So that will be more a responsibility of the women farmers. Women and men may organize their knowledge in different ways. Even those knowledge, how that knowledge is disseminated, that is also different. I'm not talking about that knowledge which teachers used to give, because it's acquired knowledge that based on the information we give you the knowledge. So that would be the same, either that is by a male teacher or a female teacher. It's basically I'm talking in relation to biodiversity. Men and women may receive and transmit their knowledge by different means. Like females are more responsible for transmitting its knowledge to the family member, especially first to the children. Like while male, they will share this with the friends, or when the boys or the girls will be grown up, then they will start giving them that kind of knowledge. So gender roles affect the economic, social, and ecological opportunities as well as constraints faced by both men and women. So I will tell you later on what are those things. Since very long time, it is said that there is an interdependence of women and nature. Why? Because they have base and skills for natural resource management. They are said to be the managers of natural resources. See, this is all natural resources I'm talking about. And that is why they are sensitive towards the environment. if a medicinal plant is growing in an environment, certainly that environment will not be threshed by a woman, because she knows that there are few plants which may be used for some or the other regions for a disease cure or for some kind of preventive measures. So they are high ecological consciousness. You know that in your home, it's the women responsibility to sweep the house, where after sweeping the garbage will go, how it will go. Always there are instructions to girls and boys, don't do this, don't do that, because that's how they are trying to make you conscious for the for that natural things which are around you. Most of the women, they are plant gatherers. Home gardens are mostly maintained by the women. They are plant domesticators. They domesticate the plants. If you go into the history of domestication of crop plants, you will find that it's the women who were doing these kind of things. They have found that there are some crop plants, which are very good. So if you eat that, it's tasty. So that is how, the wheat and other plants have been domesticated from the wild relatives. They are herbalists. They have all the, that's called as grandmother's cures. They would say that put this will be cured, do this will be prevented, and all that kind of thing. And most importantly, our tribal ladies are they are seed custodians. They keep the seeds not only for grow in their own field, but also to grow in others' field also. And they generate money out of this. They lead household work, so they have a better chance of community measurement by controlling consumption pattern. If some guest used to come to the home, they know that how they have to share the whole preparations, so that everyone should get some or the other things. It's not that few of the guests or our own home inhabitants are left empty stomach. They collect firewood. Just Dr. Reena Sharma was mentioning. Even Professor Mehta also mentioned about this particular task of women, collecting firewood for fuel and cooking, managing household waste, and provide health care through their traditional medicines. Since very long time, this has been talked about, but in 90s, the Convention on Biological Diversity came into existence, and since then, the gender perspective came into the biodiversity conservation, that how women's help should be taken to conserve the biodiversity. 45% of the world's population, they are dependent upon agriculture, forestry, fishing, hunting for their livelihoods. So I'm talking about for those for whom, these activities are for their livelihoods. So women's role becomes very important as farmers, as workers, as well as entrepreneurs. When they start selling their produce, they become entrepreneurs. And that is what is required these days, actually. Yet women continue to face gender-specific constraints. They have lower productivity because they get lower wages. They have not that much access to various things, so their agriculture production goes down. Their economic growth is hampered, and that reduces the well-being of their families, communities, and of course their role in the nation's development. When I talk about women, if you take the Indian situation also, like most of the things are being done by male, most of the decisions are taken by male. If these 48% women population, if they are not giving that much which they would have done into the nation's growth, we will never become a developed countries. All those developed countries, if you see there, the proportion of or the percentage of contribution of women are much higher, and they are much higher in all sectors. It's not that their contributions are only higher in that. In all these sectors which I am talking about, their proportions are very high. Now, I'm talking to you about the early Stone Age, like 9,000 to 15,000 BC. Even at that time, women's role as a hunter-gatherer was very, very explicit. And that was completely linked with the biodiversity. What I said to you, that in the natural environment, they got the wheat, relative of wheat or other crops, and that is how, you know, these are domesticated. Similarly, animals have been also domesticated, but their male partners had a better contribution than the female. Women collect, conserve edible parts. Almost 50 to 70% of the dietary requirements they used to collect at that point of time. Also, today, women continue to gather firewood, food, medicine, and house building materials, you all know. And these wild food are very important. Now, these days, they have become very fashionable. The wild food enhances food security in many communities during unfavorable situations such as famine, conflicts, and epidemics. You must be hearing that in Africa during famine or something, you know, the children used to eat grasses. But those grasses are not the poisonous grasses. The mother used to make chapatis or some kind of things, and then they eat. You must have heard about Maharana Pratap, our own grand leader, that when he used to be there in the jungles and other places, he used to eat grass roti. So that is how, you know, these things are very important. There are various studies which have been done under the umbrella of conservation of biodiversity, which have shown that if females have been given the responsibility, there was an increase in yield of women's farms by 20 to 30%. And if this is converted into the total agricultural output, it is 2.5 to 4% higher agricultural output. And when it is converted, it's in terms of, you know, how this can help in reducing the number of hungry people, then it comes to 12 to 17%. And this is data only of the developing countries, not of developed countries. So you can see that how much input they can do, even, you know, if they are put into these particular work of farming or fishing or all these kind of things. And these all are studies which have been done in the developing countries. Now, you will be surprised to see this. Women constitute 43% of the total agriculture labor force in developing countries and produce a large portion of the world's food crops. But they are asked what you are doing, because the produce which they help to produce, that's been sold in the market by men. And whatever money comes, you know, that comes to the man. So the man is earning, but how these women, agricultural labor, are helping the man to get that much amount, that's enormous. And for India, these data are not available. But if you see these share of the females in North Africa and West Asia, it's available for some part of West Asia, but not for India actually. Sub-Saharan Africa, and in Latin America, you see it is 30%. Okay, so it's a very fashioned work, but some agricultural tasks are feminized, such as weeding. You will always find that weeds are being removed by females. Even, you know, the rice transplanting is done by females. Even poultry processing and flower packing is done by female. You know, in the tree orchards, you will always see that, you know, women used to keep some big bag on their back, and then they are picking up the tender tea leaves. While the men's task is generally, because they are strong, to run equipment, handle tools, or, you know, they do those kind of things which offer higher wages. These are some of the examples where women help in biodiversity conservation. Like, women provide 60 to 80% of labor directly through fuel wood collection, for which they are not paid. Fetching of water for domestic use, not paid. Cooking and feeding family, and the treatment of the common elements. Modify farming practices when nutrients are exhausted. This knowledge is also with women, and especially, you know, the tribal women, they know that after seeing the soil itself, they try to know that, you know, the nutrient is exhausted. So what should be done so that, you know, what should we grow so that the soil erosion will not take place. These especially, these are the communities which are in various parts of our country, like in Northeast as well as in the North, Garwali, Mijo, Naga, Patani communities. They have preserved a high quality seeds for the future generation. That is what is biodiversity conservation. 80–90% seed requirements are met by these banks through traditional seed management. So that is how, you know, they rescue the genetic pool of the resources and contribute in situ conservation of the biodiversity. That's simple example. You will not find this into many literature, but these are very simple way they are doing it. This is one of the very important example which is widely cited, that in Thailand, there was a place, a big forest that was cleared, but before clearing, the ladies in that area, they got various species from there, and those wild species they have domesticated. So almost, you know, 230 different species they were able to maintain in their home gardens. So that biodiversity is not lost. Play a greater role in passing traditional knowledge. I have already told you about that, which is called as grandmother's cures. These are just pictorial representation what they do, and now, you know, they are also doing help in the field preparation. These are 3 girls, you know, who are preparing their own. The story has come up, so I took the photograph from there itself. It's in a Uttarakhand area. Women are also environmental victims. Livelihood by carrying full load on their head. 90% women used to do this. They also, you know, sell some part and they earn their own livelihood. Year-round collection of minor forest produce. All minor forest produce, which may be medicinal plants, which may be many other important herbs, etc., for their extra income, only they do it. Fodder collection, water, you all know that they do. Sometimes, you know, they cannot sell these things directly into the market, so the middlemen or the profiteers used to take the extra advantage, and they become victims. They spend more and more time for searching resources. So what happens? What is the result of that? That they are not able to give that much time for their cooking, child rearing, agriculture work, as well as the care of animals, which are their prime work in the home. There is a study in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh that how, you know, the climate change will affect the women, especially in the Ganges River basin. if you see this, these are the effects of the climate change. But what will happen? Because of the environmental challenges, they will have increased workload. For what? To produce food, to manage farms, to collect these resources. What it will lead? It will lead to poor health and the safety. They will sacrifice their diet if they won't get enough food for their family members. And this all will add to their stress. It's a very well-known, documented thing available. There are many women initiatives for the restoration of nature world over. In fact, it's in 1,000-kilometer area in China, in Beijing, the women leaders have mobilized the communities, both male and female, to plant the trees. Now, these trees have now stopped the advancing of desert in that area. And that area has become fertile, and now it is utilized for the vegetable production. Similarly, in Zimbabwe, the women folk, or they form a group. This kind of work cannot be done alone. They manage forest resource and the development project through the wood lot ownership and management. They would say that this area or this much wood you can only take, not beyond that. And they also encourage for the tree planting, nursery development, so that the forest species can be conserved. You all know about Chipko movement. I will show a slide you a little later. Women provide close to 80% of the total wild vegetable food collection. That is something very important. It is just for and for what they do it, so that they can earn some money for themselves. Otherwise, they are always dependent upon the males of the family for this. So this kind of thing, they are widely doing it. Now I will tell you some of the important women environmental conservationists. Mrs. Amrita Devi, you all know about Visnoi community, especially because of the scandal of Salman Khan. And Mrs. Amrita Devi, along with 2 daughters, they were killed. Why? Because they were protecting the Kejri trees from, they were stopping not to cut it. And that is how, it's long back. It's one of the very important example of the environmental protection. All of you must know that in 1972, a book came by Rachel Carlson, that Silent Spring. And that is how, the chemical pesticides have been identified to be very notorious for the human being. And then, many chemical pesticides have been banned. And most importantly, that led to the creation of Environmental Protection Agency in USA. Our own late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, she was the only one politician or head of the nation. She attended the Stockholm Conference on Human Environment in 1972. The other person was the person from Sweden, the president of Sweden. No other leader was there, to talk about the human environment. And when she came back from there, she started the Department of Environment and Forest, which is later on known as Ministry of Environment and Forest. And now you all must be knowing it is Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. Gaura Devi, she was the later on given name of some few others, who have really contributed to extend this movement for entire Uttarakhand. Then Wenger Maathai, a Kenyan woman, started an environmental movement that has planted 30 million trees in Africa with different women groups. Medha Patekar, you all know, she always used to fight for the livelihood of those to whom she thinks that they are the crusaders of the biodiversity conservation, because with this dam formation and other, lot of biodiversity is lost. Vandana Shiva, she is actually a physicist. Our Madam Neelam Shrivastava is also a physicist, an environmental activist, and she argues about traditional practices. You know, during this corona period or pandemic period, we were practicing our traditional practices, and we were taking kadha, we were doing this, we were doing that. This all has come back. So the importance of women came back once again. Menka Gandhi, she is an ardent animals rights activist. You all must be knowing. Then this is something very important you all must know, that Eleanor Ostrom in 1990 wrote a book governing the commons. And this is the book which led to the sustainable development concept in the world. So that is how, you know, how importantly they were actually motivating the world over for the biodiversity conservation, for the sustainable sustainable life of the human being. This is just to show you. I got this picture. She is Gaura Devi of the Reni village, which where very recently, you know, that havoc has taken place. So Gaura Devi with 27 women of the village stopped cutting off 1,000 trees. How? By hugging around the trees. That was the first non-violent environmental movement. And of course, later on, the environmentalists like Sundar Lal Bahuguna and Chandi Prasad Bhatt spread this message to other states. Now this lady, Surya Mani Bhagat, she is called as Jharkhand's jungle girl. And what she does, she is an activist for Save the Forests of Jharkhand. And what she does actually, she shares her information about various forest products and teaches them that what are their importance to the other tribes or other people around. So she knows the name of the plants, medicinal importance or food trees and all that. And for her contributions or awareness which she has made to the community, she was recognized by UNICEF to portray her in the calendar of 2006. It's long back. This is Vasanta Sena Green Force in Periyar, Kerala, South India. And this organization, they don't get any penny from anyone. But what they do, this small group, or not only these many, there are many more, they patrol that area every day from morning to evening, so that, you know, illegal activities are not taking any place, and they don't get any remuneration, but they are very happy. They take care of their home as well as they do these kind of things, and that is how, you know, they are contributing for biological biodiversity conservation. Now this lady got Padma Shri. You all must have seen this photograph. She is from a Halaki tribal woman. She has endless knowledge of plants and herbs. And single-handedly, she has planted 1 lakh trees in the state. She nurtures the saplings of those trees. And it is said that she has a knowledge, she is the encyclopedia of the forest. So anytime if something is being decided, you are educated or not educated, but how much you are doing for that science, so that, you know, that that information is protected. This lady also, who is known as Alada Marada Timaka, she is from Karnataka. With her husband, she has planted 384 banyan trees along a 4-kilometer stretch of the highway in between Hulikal and Kudur. And she has also, planted nearly 8,000 other trees, because she had no child, so it is taken as a curse in that community. But then she started doing this because she was asked to pray to the trees for a child. So while praying that, she started planting the banyan trees, and that is how she has done enormous biodiversity conservation work. Now, a modern girl, Vasudha Chakravarti, she is a woman wildlife photographer. She is so brave that, she lives in the jungle, in the Nilgiri jungle. There was a cottage which is 187-year-old, maybe during the time of Britishers. So that hunting house, she is now living, and she is trying to take the photographs, and also, the other primary data she is collecting for the forest of the Nilgiri Hills. Then Ratika Ramaswamy, she is a wildlife photographer of Delhi, New Delhi only. And her unique, if you see this particular photograph, that's something very unique, and that is why she's connecting the nature with the human being, and to the common people also about the biodiversity. There are many more such things. I cannot show so many of them. Women, while making the Nag Panchami, what they do, it's a festival of snakes conservation. Now these snakes help the rats, the rodents away from the field. That is why, that's a significance of this particular this. Similarly, there are communities which are just worshipping different plants. Now these plants, why they are worshipping? They are worshipping it so that they will able to conserve them. This is what is biodiversity. This is the lady Wangari Muta Mathai, who got Nobel Prize in 2004 for her contribution to sustainable development, which led to democracy and which led to peace. So this sustainable development is not a fashionable word. It is something which will also let other people to live in peace and prosperity with some other. And her movement was called as Green Belt Movement in the African continent. So there are various studies which have found, these I'm just quoting from that conservation of biodiversity, that female household members generated about 4 times more forest income than the male members, because they have a better knowledge for that. So the gender balanced community forest groups perform consistently better, means where the groups have both male and female. So those groups perform much better in all forestry functions, either that is for protection of planting or forest regeneration or biodiversity or other uses as compared to them. Similarly, for the forest tribal community, it is found that compared with the man, the woman had a better knowledge or the broader range of plant species, various, and also, their usable plant parts. These are also some of the examples world over that how women control 60 to 80% of world's food production, and they play a huge role in both water management and the forestry. Females in this we already know. In Rwanda, women are reported to produce more than 600 varieties of beans. See, and in Peru, the women have 60 varieties of manioc, which is a very important plant for them. I will certainly let you know this example of the 6 female farmers in Malawi with 6 varieties of potato they have developed. No knowledge of other things, like scientific knowledge, but they have developed potato varieties which are high in vitamin A and could potentially improve nutrition and food security. Similarly, in our Meghalaya also, there are seasonal and perennial crops which are maintained in the home garden. These home gardens are very important part of our Northeast culture. They have enough space. They are not that populated as we are here. So they have enough space. They develop these the home gardens there. They call it home gardens only. This is one of the very important thing which you all should know, that the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, that's in Chennai, they help in conservation of some plants which have very small grains. They are called as millets. And through this conservation, they have improved the livelihoods of women, because in this millet project, of course, men and women both were there, but later on they have found that there were various culinaries which were prepared by these millets, and they are sold into the market, and the female folk have got almost 20% more increment in the productivity as compared to the man. And this Swaminathan Foundation is doing a lot of work, especially for क्रॉप्स मिलेट. अब आप बाजरा खाते हैं ना, आजकल बाजरा फैशन में खाते हैं कि बाजरा बड़ा न्यूट्रिशियस है, जबकि एक समय बाजरा बहुत खाया जाता था. This is also in the Deccan region. These 60,000 women peasants, these are farmers, but they are not waged farmers. They don't have any land holdings. So what they did agriculture on non-irrigated, not very fertile fields. And they started with 2 acres, and they were not using any chemicals. And they grew 12 to 23 varieties of crops in the small plots. And when they showed it that we have done it, nobody was prepared to recognize them. Even the scientists dismissed them, that no, they must be putting something. But when they saw their way, and when they for years and years they have seen that these kind of productivity is coming, then they recognized it. Now this lady is also in the expert panel on agrobiodiversity in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and she is regularly in the media and other place, to do all kind of inaugurations and giving lectures, how they are doing it or not. Similarly, in our northern India, one of the very important things are done by ladies, that is seeds of hope. In the seeds, you have the next generation crop or tree or bush, whatever you see. And out of these, some may be very resilient to the climate, some may not be very resilient to the climate. So these kind of seeds for hope are organizations which are conserving the biodiversity in form of seeds, and they are conserving it not just by keeping them with them, but also they are growing them so that the new generations will be more climate resilient or have more nutritional qualities. This you all must be knowing very well, that there are various plants which are worshipped in our Hindu religions for different for different gods. And why this is happening? This is happening to save these plants only. So Bodo women conserve about 48 different plants and their parts for socio-cultural and religious purposes. So in conclusion, plant biodiversity conservation is not gender sensitive. Still it is not gender sensitive in the world. That CBD has Convention of Biological Diversity has also accepted it. Women do not do non-commercial production while males occupy commercial spaces of the natural resources. Women maintain diverse genetic pool of resources. I have shown you through seeds, through home gardens, through that. and thus contribute significantly in situ conservation, but they are not paid for that, except few groups which have showed it remarkably, and then they get recognition or payments. CBD guidelines related to indigenous and local communities have no gender sensitive approach. The women's knowledge, skills and practice are not valued. It should be valued. Women have no active participation in decision making. When we talk about women empowerment, we just only talk about that the decision making situation should also be in hand of women. As I said earlier, we in STEM, like science, technology, engineering, medical and mathematics, we all are very privileged person, but it's not everywhere. They do not know the technologies. If they would have known the technologies, they would have been better resource managers, because they don't have access to money, so they don't have access to education, they are not trained, or they are not given credit because they don't have land holdings to that extent. There are various recommendations which probably I should not talk to you. This should we use it for some other purposes. But at the end, I would say that it's Indira Gandhi wrote it, that women sometimes go too far. It's true, but it's only when you go too far that others listen. So with this, I end my talk, and I hope I have given you a lot of good examples of our country's women, their contribution in the biodiversity conservation. I have not taken the names of those who are in academics or who are in science and doing work on the biodiversity, but these are the real example who are working it in the society for the sustainable development of their own regions, their own country, and of course now it is Vasudev Kutumbakam, so it's for the whole world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Knowledge was there since ages, but your speech today has ignited our little minds so as to do something great further. Now it's the interaction time. Students can ask their queries to our speaker now. One by one, students can ask their questions and ma'am will reply you with answers.
Yes, Kavya? Kavya, you want to ask something? Kavya, your voice is not coming. You are unmuted, your voice is not coming. If you want to say something, else mute yourself.
Kavya, please put your question in the comment section, chat box. We can ask on your behalf.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, now you're audible.
Okay, ma'am, first of all, I would like to thank you for this amazing lecture. But my question to you is, we as a student, how can we contribute to conservation of biodiversity? Because not all of us have like garden or field so that we can grow plant or anything. So how can I contribute to this?
Very, very good question. You can very well contribute to biodiversity conservation. Plants are everywhere, right? And you must have seen that in urban areas, forest department used to plant trees. They put some guard, and then after some time you will find after 1 year or 2 years they take out the guard, or a guard, like if it is a iron guard, so that is being stolen, and then the tree is lost. So as a person, in your locality, if the trees are planted, you take the responsibility of the trees with the help of other friends, and then, let them grow. Similarly, if you are a hosteler, you take the responsibility of some of those small bushes or trees. Have you seen in BHU itself, every year, if you see in BHU how many plants are planted, but they are gone. So you can also conserve those plants, because when these are planted, when they will grow, after some times, they will not be damaged to the extent when they are in the sapling form. So you can do that. But if you are going beyond that, then certainly, you need to visit the rural areas. You need to visit some tribal areas to get them, get the knowledge and share with them. We are trying to get these knowledge now these days, traveling to the tribal area, that how they are managing to keep the seeds, how they are managing to protect a plant. And you will be surprised to know that in those areas there are some palak or spinach plants which have much higher iron content as we have in our urban areas, but they don't know, because they have never done that nutrition quality. But if we with them do the nutritional quality, they will also able to understand that this is highly nutritious. They need not to take a iron capsule. This will be sufficient for them to have that much iron in the body. So you can do a lot. All of you can do a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else? Anjali, you can unmute and speak. Anjali, instead of putting question there, you can unmute and speak. Anjali Thakur. Okay.
Okay. So she is asking that how can we do women empowerment through biodiversity conservation. That's right?
Yes.
Is that okay? I have shown you several examples. I have shown you one example of in the last, that the lady has got about 2 acres of land, which was not very productive, which was not, like enough water was there, but she grew some of the plants over there. Now, the choice of plant is very important. You cannot grow wheat and rice in such areas. You can only grow those things which do not require much water. Like, you can grow green gram. You can grow bajra. You can grow some millets, because they do not require plants. So when, these places will be, these plants will be grown there, maybe it will take 1 or 2 or 3 years, to show good productivity. But this kind of production will reduce the soil erosion from there, this will balance some moisture over there. And then, slowly and slowly that soil will become a little fertile, and slowly more fertile. So after selling those products from there, they can earn some money. So not always it's wheat and rice, or like sugar cane, or some big things can be done. But some small things can be done. Even some small bushes can be grown there, which will able to conserve water in that particular area. There are in Maharashtra area, there are various examples where, some people have started growing trees. Now, in the shade of the trees, the moisture is maintained. And slowly and slowly, in that area, the organic matter deposited on the soil, and there is an organic matter pool, which is a kind of a slow release fertilizer for the plant. So of course the investment is only for some seeds, for some initial input of organic fertilizer or something very small amount, not the way wheat and rice used to get. And the whole area is, I showed you that that information, that whole area has become green because of this. So this is one example what they have shown. Now secondly, uh, others can grow fruit. They can grow different variety of fruits. I have seen in the Mirzapur tribal area, there are about 14 or 15 types of brinjal. Their colors are also different. And the brinjal varieties are very, nutrition wise also they are very different. They are from yellow to green to purple to some brownish to exactly white to green, darker brown, all these colors are there. And they all are rich with flavonoids, very rich in flavonoids. So if we start any this kind of things and start selling our products by showing that these are organic or this, so they can get some money, but it will take time. It's not in 1 year, 2 year or 3 year. It's a project which needs to be done in group, and they need to get some credit from the bank or from the people who are involved in biodiversity conservation, or there are government schemes. Now there are a lot of government schemes to help the women if they start some kind of these projects or entrepreneurship, but they have to come in a group, and of course they have to show that they have some experience to do that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other student? Anyone who is interested? Yes, okay, Dr. Anyone else who wants to ask anything? Dr. Dina Sharma, are you
Yeah, I
interested in
will say something.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, such an interesting and capturing talk. You have given so many examples, be it Tulsi, be it Vasant Sena, be it millet case, that I think the students are so much excited, which is obvious from their questions also. I was wondering when you say that they earn lower wages because they don't have skills of operating instruments, etc. So can we from Indian Women Scientists, I was wondering, can we take up something like a project of skill building in this area? And the main aim will be to get funding and to capture some experts who are ready to teach the girl. So,
Exactly. Thank you so much for your this question, and also your offer, that how you can help this. I tell you, with the National Academy of Sciences, we are doing a project, especially, to identify the wild vegetables or wild plants in that area, and to tell them that, which part is nutritious to what extent. And then, to ask them to cultivate that, and also, to make the things which can be sold into the market, like, some kind of chips or some kind of jelly or some kind of any other these kind of things, which will enhance the nutrition in those products. So we have done some one or two not training exactly, workshop. But because, when you get some kind of funding for some specific thing, so you can do only that thing. But then while doing that, you get to know that these are few things. If we can add, it will be a kind of value to that particular project. So that is what I told you. And I will be very happy if some experts can let them know a few more things which we have not done. I'm sure there are many things which can be done over there, related to the plants which are around them. And so we are doing in Mirzapur and Sonbhadra area of UP, where mostly tribal people used to live. So certainly we will take your help, or we may discuss this in length
Yeah,
uh,
and
to
it
have
is a
some kind
pleasure
of,
to be associated and to be able to do something worthwhile for the society. And
yeah.
similarly for recommendations, if you feel like from an association, women's association, if recommendations are to be made to government, we would be happy to do that in this area.
Yeah, sure, sure. Sure, I can just share these recommendation. These recommendation I have made broadly, taking into account CBD also.
Yeah,
But for Government of India, we can just modify some of them,
okay.
so that they can take it. And you must be knowing that especially in South India as well as in the Northeast, lot of work is going on, taking help of the communities there. But in our North India, including Punjab, Haryana, and all that, these things are not that very usual things are not there. I mean, it's not being done up to that depth into that level.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. We will be associated. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, I have a small question.
Yes,
It's
please.
although not related, but we have seen so many examples, and we know that some are doing some great works. मतलब कुछ अच्छा काम स्टार्ट होता है, बट हम देखते हैं ग्रेजुअली वो काम 2-3 महीने के बाद ना खत्म हो जाता है. मतलब बहुत जोश से हम स्टार्ट करते हैं, बट धीरे धीरे वो कम होता जाता है एंड वी स्टॉप द वर्क ग्रेजुअली. सो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू आस्क कि ऐसा क्या क्वालिटीज होना चाहिए हमें, या फिर ऐसा कैसा डिटर्मिनेशन रहना चाहिए जिससे कि ये काम लॉन्ग टर्म तक चलता जाए.
You are very right that like the ladies which I have shown you, especially the photographs, they are doing it for very long time. They have not left it. Rather, they have incorporated lot many groups and lot many areas over there. Even students used to go there for internship, to know those things, how we can do that. The thing you said, like if you feel that I will able to do these kind of things in 1 to 3 years, it's not possible. So once you decide that I take this project, you think of that it will go long. You will not able to see the fruits very early. So if that patience is with you, you will able to succeed sure and certainly. I tell you, I'm a teacher, I'm getting a salary, a good salary I'm getting. I need not to do anything else. But since very beginning, when I said I took ecology in my career, and then air pollution, and that time also, I started thinking of that I should do something, at the places which are natural places. And I was not doing my children were grown up, and this and that things were happening. And I have tried to locate some places where I can work. That was my first step. Then I looked for that how I will work. If I start spending my own salary over there, after some time I will be on road. Okay, if I will take all my leave and something and do that work, it won't be coming out. So, I'm trying to do it slowly and slowly. After some times I will retire. Then I will able to do a lot. So whatever I am doing, I'm going there. I'm making a rapport with them, so that when I will start it doing in a little bigger way, so they know me. By that time, I will not start my introduction with that, because it will be too late. So since then, one way or the other way, I'm trying to do something. I inculcate these things to my students, either they are PhD students or those who are, try to converse with me on these aspects. Not to everyone, it's not a like pravachan or something. Okay, so I try to do them, and I have seen some of them, how they have started doing. They have started doing much better than me. One of my friend has started doing lot of thing in her home garden. Lot of thing. This year we distributed almost 200 families some very best quality seeds for their home garden in the tribal area. And I don't have a home garden. My house is not that big that I have a home garden. I have not grown it in a pot. But those ladies, the stakeholders to whom I have given those seeds, now they have their home garden. They will rear their own seeds. Now they will not depend upon me. And they used to send me on photographs that, this is this much big palak I have, this much big, mooli I have. And they will themselves try to keep the seeds. So that is how in my own resources or with the help of some project I am trying to do it. So you make a group to do anything, so that creative minds, and you all have creative minds. I don't have a creative mind now at this age. I used to take that creativity from you students only. And I get every time some good student, maybe my own PhD scholar or maybe a student of botany department. And now my entire umbrella has grown up a lot. So see, the physics madam is with me. Yesterday we went to a school and we had a very good science exhibition. We inculcated question. We asked several questions for their career. We did career counseling also. I'm not a career counselor, but I did that. So you can do a lot. The future is yours.
Madam, somebody has asked a question in chat box also. Akriti Priya has asked a question.
Okay, I will see. Have knowledge about biodiversity. Oh yeah, very good question. Why they suffer from micronutrient deficiency? Because they don't eat. If they don't have sufficient food, they share it with the family. And they are the last one to eat that. So बचा कुचा खाएंगी तो उन्हें कैसे न्यूट्रिएंट मिलेगा? वो पालक बनाएंगी तो वो घर के मेल को दे देंगी. अब तो बेटियों को भी दे देते हैं, उनको दे देंगी और अपने लिए जरा सा रखेंगी. वो दाल थोड़ी सी रखेंगी. So they will not able to get protein. They will not able to get, and what they will take, they will take potato. So potato will not nourish them. So till they can, and they work very hard. They don't get wages for their work. They are homemakers. Yesterday also I was talking about that women are homemakers. They are not housewives or house girl or house this. They are homemakers. They make the whole home. You must have seen an advertisement now these days. It comes that a lady is sitting in a room and watching the some movie on a laptop, and the entire house, the children, they are just playing here and there, and the things are just here and there, and then husband comes and he thinks something has happened to that lady. So when he comes and he asks, what has happened? So she said, I'm just watching a movie, nothing has happened. So bole, but see the condition of the house. Then she said, I didn't do anything today. So can you imagine? The whole responsibility is her. She even skips the lunch or something, even sometimes, the things are there, but there is no time. They have to do something. They are multitasking. So they have to take care. You all girls, you keep yourself nourished. Unless you are nourished, you will not able to succeed in anything, because you will have different kind of problems. So nourishment is something which is very important. And now no need of having that with this nourishment I will put on weight, or with this nourishment I will do this. Be nourished, that will increase your immunity, that will increase your strength to fight with various diseases. And let your mothers, aunties, and ladies know that eat fully nutritious food, whatever they get.
Anyone
Okay.
else? Anyone
Okay,
else?
Akriti. Now there is Yashwant Singh Patel.
Okay.
Oh, no, he has thanked actually.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Yashwant.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy you are listening this, so you will follow in your family. And I'm very happy that Reena Sharma madam has clearly said it's not exclusively for women. You know, it's not a feminist system. We want you all to know, what are the problems and what we can do, so that you come with us, and we will reach to the goal of of anything, our contribution to the nation development, or the society development.
Daily, madam, since when I have started working with you and started listening you, it has always been a very motivating for me and very satisfying for me. And today again, yeah, I don't know. I was just flowing through your talk. It was so interesting, so information about everything, about the people who are contributing, about the information, about the requirements, that how we are conserving the biodiversity. I'm really very happy that when Reena Sharma has asked me ki I should organize a lecture, so the first name which came in my mind was yours. No, madam will speak certainly very good, and I think that the students must have been very much uh, gain something, which is really, it was a motivating lecture from every point, ma'am. Thank you very much for giving you such a valuable time.
No,
Thank you.
I'm very happy to be associated with Indian Women Science Association, and at this and especially you give chance to your students to do all these things. So one day you will find them to reach to the
Yes.
level much higher than any one of us are there. So
Yes.
that's very good of this association and your own attempt to do these kind of things, and to MMB also,
Thank you.
the madam principal who was here, Nishi, and all others. I could not see many of you, of course.
Yeah, there
Uh,
were some other teachers also associated.
but
Yes.
I'm very thankful to all of you for giving me opportunity to give what is in my heart,
Yes.
not from in my mind.
No, ma'am.
So
Yes, it
I'm
was. It
able
was
to
that.
express
Yes.
that. I'm able to express that.
Yes. Yes, it's Sita. Continue, beta. It was really amazing, madam.
Thank you again, ma'am, for sharing her amazing knowledge with all of us. Now, on stage, we have Honorable Dr. Ritu Srivastav, ma'am, Treasurer IFSA, Delhi branch, to give the vote of thanks on behalf of Indian Women Scientific Association. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. The Honorable and respected Speaker, Professor Madhoolika Agarwal, Madam, Professor Botany, Professor Indu Mehta, Ma'am, Principal MMP VHU, and Professor Neelam Shrivastava, MMP VHU, and all the member of IFSA and all other participants. You know that this event is a collaborative effort, a joint venture of MMB VHU and IFSA branch Delhi, supported by BRNS DA. On behalf of IFSA branch Delhi and on my own behalf, our most sincere thanks to today's speaker for sharing their graceful words with us to explain the role of women in biodiversity conservation. Ma'am, thank you very much for gracing this event. I want to extend my generous thanks to Professor Indu Mehta, Principal MMV VHU, for providing this opportunity to conduct the session at MMB VHU and her gracious presence during this event. I also want to thanks to coordinator Professor Neelam Srivastav for giving their acceptance to jointly organize this event and her entire management team, Professor Nisi and others, to successfully organize this event. I am very thankful to the VRNS DAE for their support for this event. I am thankful to all the participants because without them it is not possible for successful to organize such kind of event. Once again, thank to all the people who helped either directly or indirectly to make this event successful. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good luck to all of you.
A lot of thanks to ma'am and IWSA to select our university to share about Indian Women Scientists Association with us. No matter how enlightening ma'am's words were, no matter how much we learned today, no matter how much our minds were ignited today, any event has its conclusion at a particular time. So today also we have got our time to conclude. So the camera will now focus on my best friend Soumya Rajlakshmi to see the formal vote of thanks and conclude this event.
Thank you, Ipsita. A lovely and warm good evening to most valued Principal Ma'am, organizers, teachers, and beloved friends. It is a matter of pride that I am promoting a vote of thanks for this meeting. I, on behalf of the entire team, first of all spread my most sincere thanks to our Chief Speaker of the evening, Professor Madhoolika Agarwal, for sharing this piece of information and knowledge with us. Further, a big thanks to Dr. Reena Sharma, Dr. Ritu Srivastav, who gave their vital time from their busy schedule to choose our college and spread awareness about IWSA and grace this meeting with their presence. I also want to thank Professor Neelam Srivastav for her effort towards coordination and bringing us under one umbrella. Further, a big thanks to our principal ma'am for marking her presence in spite of her tight schedule. I also want to thank our teacher Professor Nishi Kumari for her cooperation in college meeting. I would like to place my hearty thanks to Ipsita for her efforts towards today's anchoring. I'm fortunate and to thank the dedicated and well-motivated audience for maintaining the decorum of the meeting. This is so much varying in this vote of thanks to express my emotions that correctly fits the atmosphere. So, I show my appreciation towards all the people who have been the strength of today's meeting. Thank you all for being with us. It has remained a pronounced pleasure. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you.
I have a request to Professor Neelam. Collect the feedback form from the student.
I will send them, I have their mail IDs, I will send them the feedback form and I will collect it. No?
Okay.
So how to collect right now?
A format has been given to you. Or I will send it again.
I am having that format. I will mail them and I will collect the feedback form. I will get it done.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Once again, thank you, ma'am.
I can leave.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.